Check, check. Hello, Can family. Very, very good morning. Hope everyone is having a very good Saturday, having plans for the weekend. But again, what's happening from last few days just made me concerned. A lot of Can family members are started to approach me with a lot of questions. And what is a common pattern and concerning pattern which I noticed that is most of the couples or a family, they just wanted to put an application. So I thought, yes, I can able to help few of them, but with this live session, what I want to achieve is that each and every Can family member who are following us, who subscribe our channel, at least get a decent idea and get your answers so that you can able to plan your application. Because again, remember one thing, it's very important to understand what the application is. What I'm understanding as of today is like a lot of international students, especially families, they just somehow wanted to submit the application before 21st of January. And again, there are a lot of agents, there are a lot of immigration firm which are calling them and doing a follow-up saying that no, if you cannot apply, then you cannot able to apply anytime later. There, you need to submit your application. If you don't even fulfill the eligibility, that's fine. Just submit the application. Because again, this all thing, remember one thing, these are the marketing strategies. So please, if you are the part of the Can family member, I really want that you should understand what are the eligibilities, and then yes, you wanted to take a service from someone, definitely you can, but please, it's your responsibility to understand that when you're putting an application, what's the probability of approval? There is nothing called as 100% approval, but always there is something called as a probability that yes, my file is strong. If I put an application, definitely that will get approved. And again, today's live is all about that. Once again, I'm very thankful for the whole Can team, the marketing, the online team, because of them, because they told me that, okay, a lot of people are approaching us just to get few answers. They don't want to book an appointment, but again, they just want to get few answers. So they just organize this whole online session on weekend. I hope this will be fruitful and give you a positive feedback that how you can do the application by yourself, or at least how you can analyze that, what are the eligibilities. And again, at the end, we will have some question answer session where you can start able to put the text message in the YouTube comment session, and I will try to give you all the answers in little bit explanatory way. So let me give you a summary of what is the spousal open work permit update about, little bit, and then we will start with the question and answer session. Okay. So now, the recent spousal open work permit update, it has positive and negative. Let me just make it summarize in a very beautiful way. One, the negative thing, let's talk about first. Yes, after 21st, those individuals who supposed to apply for a spousal open work permit, sorry, I'm not very good with my throat today. Okay, so the negative news was those individuals who were supposed to be consider themselves eligible for a spousal open work permit, now few of them will not be eligible. So who are they? Few of them is especially those individuals like the primary applicant who are on a postgraduate open work permit. Because again, for the student part, there is a good news which I'm going to explain, but earlier also it was very much clear that spousal open work permit for international student who are studying can only be applied if the primary applicant, that's the student, is doing a is doing a master's or a PhD, doctorate, or a degree kind of course. Now it just came upon that, okay, there is other categories too which will be eligible to apply for a spousal open work permit. But the negative is about the postgraduate work permit holder, because now if your work permit is less than 16 months, or if you are not falling under the 2 and 3 knock code, except the few additional sectors which will be added soon, which will come to know after 21st of January, those individuals may not be eligible to apply for a spousal open work permit in the future, which is again, yes, it's concerning. But now, when I'm talking about the application, always remember one thing, I'm seeing a lot of comments, lot of approaches, or a lot of concerns coming from those postgrad work permit holders who have family back home, or like who had already the refusals last year and now they wanted to put a new application. Kindly note, the spousal open work permit eligibility criteria remain the same. The approval, the probability of approval, the eligibility strictness, what was implemented last year remain the same. So if you are the one individual who wanted to apply for spousal open work permit, kindly note, it's not just that you just submit your application before 21st of January. You need to look into the eligibility criteria like the financial stability, the purpose to go back, for what are the statement of purpose you're putting, that okay, why the spouse should come to Canada, how the spouse will leave Canada, how the spouse will be beneficial for Canada. Again, these all things are very important, for which technically in the past or when we do a submission, we put statement of purpose, which explain that, okay, why a spouse wanted to come to Canada and why a spouse wanted to will stay for the only that particular period of time and leave Canada. Sorry. But again, the second important thing is your financial statements. So if you are the applicant who already had a refusal or who wanted to submit an application, you definitely need to show your bank statement. Without bank statement, if you are applying for the first time or you already had a refusal, that is just going to put your application again in a refusal category. Third, you need to put a proper explanation and proper documents to prove that your education, your experience, your background, so that the CIC officer who is analyzing your profile feel that, okay, this person is worthy to come to Canada, and yes, he will be asset for Canada so that he can come and work here and be with the family. If an individual have even a tier 0 or 1, the student, but the spouse don't have a proper financial statement, only 5-6 lakh just put as the FD, already had a previous refusals, guess what? You're again gonna see a refusals there. So please, with this thing, by this video live, I really wanted to make you guys clear that if you are the one who are about to apply for spousal open work permit, consider all the previous spousal open work permit refusal in mind, and then look into the tier which you are working, because once again, let me make it very simple for you. Tier 2 and 3 are still qualified. Just a note on it, there will be announcing that which all particular NOC code will be eligible to apply for spousal open work permit. So that means, for example, if you are coming under tier 2 and 3, but you are working in a skilled, you are working in agriculture, you are working in a healthcare sector, you are a RP and R and PSW, there will be a high probability that these all NOC codes will be added towards that. Yes, you will be eligible to apply for a spousal open work permit even after 21st of Jan. Again, this is not yet clear, but it will be once the 21st of January come. So if someone is forcing you to put an application before 21st of Jan by saying that no, after that you will not be eligible, just think about their motives. Because now yesterday I had some few of the emergency appointments where lot of international students or the clients just asking me that, okay sir, I do have a software job, I do have a managerial job which is a tier 0, but I am getting a calls from the immigration firms saying, or the agents from India saying that, okay, no, you have to put an application before 21st, otherwise you will not be eligible. Again, you already have a tier 0 and 1, why should you even concerned about it? You can even apply after 21st, because once again, keep one thing in mind, the spousal open work permit need lot other eligibility criteria to met. If it doesn't met, you're getting a refusal. Whereas, so till now what I spoke, that's about the spousal open work permits. So I always recommend that you should watch our previous video so that you can understand the difference between spousal open work permit and spousal open work permit extension. These are two different. Extension means already you are in Canada and your status is about to expire, the spousal open work permit. So you are extending your status, and now that is having a very high chances of getting an approval. But yes, if you are on a, if the primary applicant, the student is changing the status from study to work permit, then yes, after 21st of January, still the new policy will be implemented. So I hope you got the summary of this whole live session. Let's start with the question and answer session. Once again, guys, I'm very new to this whole live thing. So if there is any mistakes, again, I appreciate your feedback on that. I will go one by one. I will try to cover maximum questions which I can. Kindly avoid asking repeated questions. So you can look into the previous comments which were already placed. If I answer, I'm just going to ignore that just to value the time. But again, I will be giving you a detailed explanation. And once again, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe, because again, we will be doing this kind of live session every week or at least bi-weekly for sure, depending upon the new updates, so that the Can family will be notified and have a up-to-date knowledge about the Canadian immigration. Let's start. Okay, so Angel Tom, your comment came literally before even the live was started. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. So Angel John is saying that she is, like, I haven't received my 3 years postgraduate work permit due to the passport expiry. How it is gonna affect me when I put for an extension for myself, spousal open work permit and visitor record extension? Does this rule applicable? So once again, you are doing extension because you got a passport limit. There is one line in the new regulation which says that if you are doing an extension because your passport expiry, you will be still eligible to get a spousal open work permit for the remaining time under the previous regulation. So if you look into the regulation, just go to the second last stanza where it says what are the exception to that. Once again, let me just make it clear to every Can family member. Yes, there is a policy. What most of the international students do is they just follow someone's content, don't even understand the policy properly, and they just assume that no, I cannot able to apply. You are well educated. That's why you are in Canada. You are on study permit, you are on work permit. Once again, when you see a policy, go through it. There is ChatGPT, there are other ways by which can summarize it, what are the positive, what are the negative, what are the eligibility. Use those kind of tools because that can able to educate you without even going to someone else. So once again, to Angel Tom, the second last stanza very clearly says that if it is for extension, you will be eligible. But yes, try not to do that. That would be my sincere request. Because let me give you an example. Till last year, December, even if you are having a tier 4 and 5, you are supposed to be eligible for a spousal open work permit. Again, there was a public policy. But guess what? From May onwards, so May 2024 onwards till December, I have seen lot of refusals for those applicants who applied under the tier 4 and 5, who applied for a spousal open work permit with tier 4 and 5 knock code. So again, public policy is there, but again, once CIC started to change their mind, they can even refuse your application based upon the current regulation. So again, Angel Tom, please, if it's possible, because you already do have a work permit for maybe around 2026 sometime, try to get a knock code which is qualified for spousal open work permit so that you will be having very safe spousal open work permit extension application. Let's go to Minu Satish. Hi Vishnu, I applied for my postgrad open work permit and it is implied status. Now I need to submit an extension for my husband. So can I use the same GC key for him also, because we had the same GC key when we applied from India? So now, very nice question, Minu. Remember one thing, the GC key is something like the personal account. So now when you apply together, yes, the primary applicant can use the one GC key and then the secondary or dependent applicant can go under that. So once again, when it's the same application, it's like primary application and all the application can go under the same GC key. But now, like Minu, you just said that you already applied for postgrad open work permit, you're on implied status. So now, if you wanted to apply for your husband and you wanted to apply for your kid, keep one thing in mind. You need to create a new GC key. New GC key is very simple to create. It's like way more easier than creating a social media account. Go create an account for him. If you wanted to apply through your own GC key, yes, you can do that. But again, you need to add the use of representation form as a family member so that you can be you will be like a representative on that file. But better, and to be more specific and having a higher approval rate, try to create a new GC key for your husband and then apply for his spousal open work permit extension. If you have a kid, you can include in the same GC key. For the kids, you don't need to create a new GC key. Let's go to the next question. Zara Gunjan, hi Vishnu, I applied for my spousal open work permit extension. Good. It's been 6 months with a study permit extension, but still the decision is pending. Now I have my postgrad open work permit. Is it best to link the file together and have a job and paste up? Yes. So Zara, as per the CIC, if any application is undergoing, you can always do an update. And again, it is your primary responsibility and ethical responsibility too, that you need to update if there is any significant change. So in your case, because you are right now on a postgrad open work permit, maybe implied status, maybe already received your work permit, you can update the same application. So again, you don't need to put a new application for your family. The previous application which is running, just raise a web form, when you go to a web form, you can see there is one tab comes as add the document. And it will ask if the CIC asks for it or you are adding by yourself. You will say that you are adding by yourself and then give an explanation that, okay, when I submitted the application, I was on my study permit, and then later on now I am on a postgrad open work permit. I do have a tier 0, 1 to 3 job. If you are applying before like 21st of January, if you're applying after 21st of January, just keep one thing in mind. You need to follow this like eligibility criteria and then update the pay stubs too. Keep one thing in mind, but I'm saying this with a lot of refusal what I'm seeing. Right now, it's been already 6 months. The work permit duration which we are seeing is around 6 to 8 months time nowadays. So anytime the approval can come or a decision can come. So if you're updating your file, try to update 3 pay stubs also as soon as possible. Those pay stubs need to be full time. What I'm saying is people do have a part-time contract job. They just started to just put an application in before 21st and they may upload the pay stub or they may not upload the pay stub. But if the pay stub having less than 30 hours per week, that consider and that makes you a part-time or a contract or a casual job employee. For a spousal open work permit, you need to follow the tier code as well as 3 full-time pay stub. Very clear? Let's go to the next question. I hope I'm able to answer Zara's question. Let's go to the next one. Renault's applied on May 8, 2024 for spousal open work permit. Result awaited. Are they going to process the same via the new rules? Okay, so Raul, one thing very clear. If this is an application which is submitted from outside Canada, sorry to say, the refusal rates are really going high nowadays, because let's summarize the whole policies which came in last 1 year. All the policies which came in last 1 year, if you can look in a broader spectrum, trying to control the intake of a foreign workers and try to make Canada sufficient with those resources what they already have. So if this is an application which is submitted from India or somewhere from outside Canada, yes, you need to update your application. But again, if it has been now it's almost like around 8 months it's now, you should apply for the GCMS note. Again, the GCMS note is something which can explain you what's going on with the application, which you can even order during the application process, so that if you see on that, if there is any kind of a refusal thing which is coming up, but decision is not rendered, literally you can able to update your application with a positive documents and you can able to get the approval. But in immigration, I always say no decision is a good news, because again, I've seen that if application need to refuse, it refuses very fast. Approval takes time. So again, you should be safe. I really hope that you should be getting your approval. But again, apply for GCMS note if any application cross their normal processing time. Going towards Joseph Sakria, wife on study permit now. I am on spousal open work permit. Okay. What happens when she converts from study permit to postgrad open work permit? Will my spousal open work permit be considered as extension or new file? Thanks in advance. Brother, again, let me just define it in a little bit explanatory way, because like I said, it's your question, but it's very common question what people ask, and a lot of agents are also confusing with a lot of their videos nowadays. Kindly note, if you are already in Canada, you cannot apply for a spousal open work permit like a person applying from back home. Those are 2 different applications, 2 different IMM forms. Same thing I have noticed that when the new regulation came for a study permit extension, that okay, if you wanted to study for January and May, you need to apply for a new study permit. Kindly note, if someone is already in Canada, the person cannot apply for an application like study permit. That application ought to be a study permit extension. The same way for you, Joseph, this application, this is technically a like a spousal open work permit extension. Have a very high approval rate, but always keep the eligibility in the mind. You don't need to show CA statement. You don't need to show a lot of documents. But again, try to put your bank statement, try to put the marriage certificate, proof of relationship. If you are working, you can put your employment letter, pay stub. But again, the most important thing for a spousal open work permit application is that your spouse, that the primary applicant, need to have a full-time tier job and 3 pay stubs. Again, if you don't have 3 pay stubs, you can update it later through a web form before the decision is made. If decision is made before you update a 3 pay stub, unfortunately, you will be getting a refusal. This is a very key point. I believe you guys can understand that. once again, guys, those individuals who are joining now, this live session will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and we will post some of the bit on our Instagram too. So please, if don't ask the repeated question, I requested that if there's any questions which is not asked previously, then you can able to put, otherwise I will just skip just to respect the time. Okay, going to the next one. Ruan, your brother, how are you? Thank you. You've been always a valuable CAN family member and my dearest client. Happy to see you again. Hopefully you will be getting your PNP approval and PR with your family. Hope your work permit is also getting good and getting approved very soon. Thank you, brother, for your comment. Melvin, hi Vishnu, how long does it take for a BIL for skilled trade draw? So once again, sorry, I'm just passing that question just because today's live session is only about the spousal open work permit new update. So please be stick with the topic so that I can able to take a lot more question, because this section will be ended by 11:30. I'm trying to take as much as question I can. Okay, let's go. Sumit Sebastian, my college will provide my completion letter only by 20th of Jan. I have tier 2 job letter. Is it okay to apply for both postgraduate and spousal open work permit extension together on 20th Jan itself? Yes. So now, Sumit. So what you have to do, brother, is you can just add, if you have an official transcript, you can include that. If even the course completion letter is coming later, include an explanatory note saying that I already graduated, but college is taking time to get the course completion letter, which will be coming soon. Anyhow, for the postgrad open work permit application nowadays is taking somewhere from 3 months to 7 months or even 9 months. So if you apply today on 20th of January, like you said that you will be receiving the course completion letter somewhere by 20th or maybe even after that, that's fine. You can submit with an explanation letter that I will update through a web form, and you can able to submit your postgrad and spousal open work permit together before 21st to escape from the new eligibility criteria. If you are missing the course completion letter, later on you can update through a web form. Okay, so next one is Hannah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your comments is very valuable, because on this we are planning to do more live sessions so that we can take a lot more questions and can help our CAN family member. Okay. I missed it somewhere. Okay, done. Okay, so yeah, Harpreet, is the cook job under tier 3? Yes, it's under tier 3. You should apply for your work permit, spousal open work permit before 21st of Jan. Don't wait later. There's very less probability that cook will be coming under the selective categories. So please, before 21st, try to submit your application. Can I able to apply before 21st Jan? Kindly please explain your question. If I missed it, explain your question so that I can able to answer. My course will be done in April. Okay, so again, Akhil Jose, you said that your course is gonna finish in April. So once again, you can only able to apply for your spousal open work permit after April. So you have to follow the new eligibility. Vishnesh, I have applied for my wife's spousal open work permit after starting the tier 2 level job after 10 days of the receiving the offer letter. So I could not upload the pay stubs that I can raise a web form and upload them. Yes, you can do that. You can update the pay stubs during the process before the decision is made. Very safe. Try to keep a screenshot of the web form when you raise it. So in case if the CIC doesn't receive it. So let me tell you one thing, little bit explanatory way. Okay. So now, the web form is not a formal way to update the documents. Yes, you can raise your inquiry, you can try to put a request, update a document, but there is no 100% guarantee that that document will be updated. Once again, it's a formal way. So what you can do is, or you can try to do is, when you upload it, try to take a screenshot. So now, if in case if you get a refusal, at least you have something to say that, no, I already raised a web form and I updated the documents properly. Again, it is complicated, stressful process, but still, you should keep the screenshot when you do a web form raise. That's the tip. Okay, Hannah, I graduated on April as an early childhood educator, and husband will be like to come for graduation, visiting visa. Is it possible to convert the visiting visa? Yes, you can able to convert visiting visa to spousal open work within Canada. It is possible. Please note that we are, yep. So now, Shupandi, okay, could you please guide me how to check if my knock code is eligible or call for a provincial opening? Again, guys, please stick with the spousal open work permit questions only. I'm trying to cover, there are a lot of questions, so please stick with that. We will be doing live. Just follow and subscribe our channel because we are going to be putting a poll what should be the topic of next live session. Whatever comment we will get more topic on, we will cover that on next live. Litty, I'm on my study permit and soon will come on study permit. My child is 6 years old and she came, can she come to Canada? Okay, so will come to Canada. Okay, so again, you need to fulfill the whole eligibility criteria. You need to have a job. But once again, when you're applying for a study or like for your kid, if your kid is less than 5 years old, you're applying for a visitor record. So it's like a visitor visa basically. If you're outside Canada, you can apply it anytime. You don't need to fulfill the criteria of tier 0, 1, 2, 3 or any kind of new eligibility. This is specifically for a spousal open work permit. So if your kid is less than 5, visitor record or study permit, you can able to put that application with a proper request. But because she's now 6 years, would be a little complicated to get an approval if you are not coming into the tier job and have a good wage in Canada because you are the only person who she's going to depend financially. So again, if application is good, yes, you can try for study permit, but once again, try to get tier job before you apply. Midhu, hi Vishnu, I am on a postgrad work permit till January 2027. My spouse who is in Canada had a work permit as a work permit extended, but it expired in October 2025 because of the passport expiry. You can able to get an extension, not a big deal. But again, if you already have till October 2025, try to get the PR before that or try to look for the options for that. Let me make one thing very clear to the Can family member. Work permit, even you get an extension, you get anything, it will finish one day because again, it has a deadline to that 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. You might have seen a lot of international students who might been staying in Canada for 7 years. They got COVID extension, still they cannot able to get a PR. Always, I tell every Can family member that try to go with a permanent solution. Don't go with a temporary solution that, okay, I just want a work permit extension. Try to focus to how to get a PR. So when you come for a 1 year program, 2 year program, doesn't matter. When you're on a study permit itself, make your vision clear that, okay, how can I get my PR rather than looking for an extensions? Because trust me, you can get extension 1 time or 2 times, but again, once it's finished, you are going back. So don't avoid the last minute hustle. Try to get your PR as soon as possible so that you can be stress free and reach to next level of your life. Okay, so next, because okay, can we extend it after he renews his passport? Yes, you can. Bitu Varghese, hi Vishnu, I'm working under the government organization tier 2 and it's been more than 6 as a permanent full-time. Okay, 6 months. Okay, I applied for a spousal open work permit. It's been rejected 2 times, so advisable to apply again. Please don't. So specific to Bitu, brother, I understand 2-time refusals. It's huge. Don't try to just submit the application before 21st because that will just make one more increase on a refusal. Because again, you already had a 2 refusal. So all the individuals or the Can family member who are watching this video, kindly note. If you had a refusal, it doesn't matter. You can still able to apply for a new application, but keep one thing in mind. Try to apply after understanding the refusal reasons. So first, apply for the GCMS note. Understand the reason for that. What are the refusal reason? Approach a licensed immigration consultant lawyer. Again, there are a lot of like agencies, law firm you can see across Canada and also outside Canada. Try to approach someone who can make you understand, because one thing, it's not about applying the application, it's about getting an approval. Because again, I value family, so I understand how important the family is for you. So please do not just apply for something for a sake that someone is telling you to apply. You already had a 2 refusal. So I will not recommend you to put an application before 20th because you don't even have time for that. Apply for your GCMS note and submit your spousal open work permit if you're able to get into that new eligibility criteria. I hope, Bitu, this is not something you might wanted to hear, but please avoid refusals because this just make your PR application also a little bit delayed. It's not going to influence the refusal, but still more refusals, you will notice that the PR application taking more time. So again, try to avoid that. Going to next one, Reshma. Hi Vishnu, I received my completion letter today. My spouse is on a spousal open work permit with our kid and our permits are expiring on 31st of March. I have only part-time now. Can I apply for postgraduate along with a spousal open work permit extension? So, sorry for that. Okay, so now, very important thing, Reshma. even before this new eligibility criteria, if you wanted to apply for spousal open work permit, you ought to have a tier 0, 1, 2, 3 job and full-time job. So once again, if you are working as a part-time as of now, try to get more than 30 hours per week. Even if it is a part-time, more than 30 hours per week. As per the immigration, it's considered as a full-time if you can able to put a proper explanation letter that, okay, due to the organization regulation, they only offer the part-time, but yes, they are offering me continuous 30 hours per week. You can get a recommendation letter from your manager, submit that with that. You can able to apply for spousal open work permit, but please, if you are applying with a part-time, you are looking into getting a refusal, try to avoid that. Okay, so now going to Sanket. Hello Vishnu, I have completed my graduation in April 2025. I missed it somewhere. Yeah, I have completed my graduation in April 2025. Okay, my wife visas are getting expired in September 2025. My question is, does my wife SOWP has to be extended, spousal open work in new application? Oh no, it is an extension. Again, just now I just explained that, Sanket. When you are within Canada, it's not a new application. You are applying under the 5710. So like, just let me make it very most simple, okay? Within Canada, when you apply for any kind of work permit, it has to be 5710. So even if it is a postgrad open work permit, spousal open work permit, any sort of work permit within Canada, that is the only application which again considered as a change of status, extension or a new work permit application. So once again, you are not applying for a new study permit, which is like new work, spousal open work permit, like you are applied before when you brought your wife here in Canada. This is just an extension, simple application, just follow the eligibility. Okay, Sanket, also, do I have tier 01 job for my spouse to apply for extension for a new application? Again, tier 2 and 3 is also qualified, brother. You can able to apply through that if you follow under the tier 2 and 3, like the selective sectors or eligible knock code, which CIC is going to publish. So again, you have to wait for that to see whether if you are even under the tier 2 and 3, if you're following under a particular sector, particular knock code, like what we have in postgraduate open work permit now, the courses, which is very clearly listed that, okay, these are eligible for a postgrad open work permit. That will also be coming in the spousal open work permit list also. If that are the knock codes, then yes, you can able to apply with a tier 2 and 3. Otherwise, unfortunately, no. Okay, so this is the longest time I'm talking. Sorry guys, just give me some time. Okay, so now next, pick and burial. I will be graduating in this April. I have tier 2. My wife is working as a packer and labeler in factory. What about the work permit extension? Unfortunately, Vicky, you cannot able to apply for spousal open work permit extension. Even with now, if you apply, you are seeing a very high probability of refusal. I would say 90 to 95%, 0.5% or 5%. I'm just telling you because again, the decision has to come from the CIC. But right now, anyone who apply for a tier 4 and 5, especially after January 1st, most of the individuals will be seeing the refusal just because already the public policy, which was implemented for 2 years only, was already expired. And from January 1st, at least you need to have a tier 0, 1, 2, 3 if you are applying for a spousal open work permit. And after January 21st, it has to be tier 0 and 1, 2 and 3 only in selective knock codes. Okay, so going to Aiden, I applied for a study permit for my husband and myself and our 2-year-old kid. Only his was approved. I have reapplied for spousal open work permit for myself, excluded my kids. What are the chances of getting approval? So again, approval depends upon the documentation, the submission. No one in this world can tell you that what are the chances, because once again, I have seen spousal open work permit approval with just 1 lakh rupees from back home in India getting approved, and 20 lakh rupees or having a very good stable job getting a refusal. So once again, how you do this application, how you submit an application, that is the key thing to find out what is the probability. If you applied by yourself, you should look into that, okay, whether you fulfill all the eligibility criteria. If you went through a licensed immigration consultant and lawyer, again, they must have educated you. But again, the answer for this, unfortunately, I don't know. Okay, so now going to Zara. Thank you, Vishnu, for getting everything. I linked my application, add job letter and pay stubs as well. Zara, all the best. I really wish that you should get approval very soon. Drop a text message to us, let our office know that you got an approval. with you and your family, we will be also happy that you got an approval. And again, our motive is always to educate our CAN family member so that you can understand you don't need to depend upon a lot of applications on other people or third party, including me. Some of the application you can do by yourself, and spousal open work permit is one of that. Okay, so going to next one, Prashant. Hi Vishnu, I will be completing my 2-year course in May. Will be applying for postgraduate open work permit as well. I have tier 4 job. My spouse is already here. Will be possible to apply for extension? Unfortunately, brother, no. You need to have a higher tier job for sure. If you even wanted to apply before 21st of Jan, because you're completing a course in May, you definitely has to follow under the new eligibility criteria. Once again, you came to Canada not to work in a factory or making a coffee. Let me make one thing very clear. Yes, I understand there are times when it's very difficult to get a job, but now the policies which is implemented by the Canadian government and the CIC somewhere is going to helpful for that. Because now if less people are coming, still the jobs remain the same, and now the employer will be giving priority for those individuals who are already in Canada. Please, if you have a good resume, if you don't have a good resume, try to approach your international office of your college, which can able to help you to build your resume, or use ChatGPT or a third-party professional help. Try to get that done as soon as possible. It's one of the key feature you should do before you doing a job search. I have seen a lot of resumes that just get refused just because that one piece of paper is not even worthy, not even professional, even though the person may have an experience. But again, as an employer, let me tell you, the resume is the most important thing. Try to build that. Even if you want to spend some money, do that. That will get you a job through LinkedIn, through Indeed. Try to make some local calls directly to the firm which you wanted to work. Hopefully, if they remember you, they can tell you to, okay, drop the resume. That is some of the ways which I always recommend my students to get the job in Canada. Okay, next is, okay, so Neetu Murli. I am on postgrad open work permit, implied status, and working on NOC code 33102, PSW, good. I wanted to extend my spousal open work permit, my son's study permit. It's a time frame, how to frame letter of explanation. Can you guide me? Again, letter of explanation or statement of purpose is just simple thing. Even you can know that, okay, why you want your family to be here. Only it's not needed for every application. But again, yes, it's a very good idea to put a statement of purpose or a letter of explanation. Just put on your own words that, okay, you came to Canada, your husband came to Canada, your son is here, now you're applying for an extension. What are the reasons why he wanted to be? Because again, emotional support, family need to be together. And again, after the particular time, the person will leave Canada. Simple. Remember one thing, you are the individual who are putting the application, and you can justify your application more than anyone else. Yes, you can find some draft of samples in online. You can able to use that, but again, put your own words and just make it, just convince the CIC officer that why he should approve your application. Okay, so going to Gayatri. Hi Vishnu, thank you for this live. Thank you. It's great. Thank you for your feedback, because these feedbacks are something which is making us motivated that, okay, we should do more live. I'm a little bit introvert person, so I don't like to go live or meet in person, but yes, my team really pushing me to do that, and yes, I will be there, because when I see this kind of response, it really motivates us. Okay, so can you please guide me idea about the postgrad work permit application timeline from the start, from receiving the transcript? Once again, Gayatri, what you can do is you can reach your international office, or you can reach your college. They usually send one PDF saying that how to apply for postgrad open work permit. It's very simple. Every college do have a international office and immigration consultants who can able to send you a PDF or a link which can explain how to apply for that. I just don't wanted to make it on this live, because again, if I miss something, you may get a refusal. So I hope you can understand. Please approach your college or approach someone, your senior, who might have already applied. It's very simple application. You can even find that on a Google YouTube channel. There are a lot of educated videos are there. You can able to refer that. Okay, so going to Gayatri, I would like to know how much time the student have to get the tier 01 or 0 or 1 job. My course end in December this year. Oh, I just missed it. Yeah. Okay, my course ended in December this year, and my spouse is already here in Canada. So now the point is, there's no timeline, or there is no deadline that, okay, you have to get a job. But again, if you wanted to put a job, yeah, sorry for that, just a minute. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm getting a feedback that the question need to be read properly. Okay, then let me just go. Gayatri says that I would like to know how much time a student have to get a tier 01 job. My course end in December this year and my spouse is already here in Canada. So now your course is already completed in December. Try to find a job as soon as possible. So if you're looking for a job in tier 0 and 1, you have whole time now. But try to apply for spousal open work permit before their status get expired. So once again, if their permit is about to expire in March, you should try to get a job before March and then get an offer letter, 3 pay stub, apply for an extension. Okay, now the answer, he said that, bro, when AIP will open in New Brunswick? Again, we will conduct another live session for AIP very soon. Nazim, can I work in 35 hours manager position and another job 30 hours associate position in implied study? Yes, you can do that. You can work any number of hours anywhere you want. Himalayan, I'm in a process of applying for a spousal open work permit. I just got diverted. Okay, so I'm in a process for applying for a spousal open work permit. I'm changing the employer. Is it required to upload my new employment details? Not as such, but again, if that job also be under tier 0 or 1 or have a high wage, you can update that through a web form. But again, when you submit your application, the policy say that you need to have a full-time tier 0, 1 to 3 job before 21st of January and 3 pay stubs. So if you've done that, you're good. If you want to update, you can update. If you don't want, that's fine. It's up to you. Okay, Himanshu, my spouse and kid is 4-year-old. And their spouse and visitor visa is expiring on September 2025. So for both of them, I have to apply for a visitor record or any other options available. So now the point is, if their status is going to expire by September 2025, again, follow the eligibility criteria so that you can able to apply for a spousal open work permit. For visitor record, nothing. You can apply anytime. Anyone can apply for a visitor record within Canada. It's same like visitor visa from back home. So if the status is about to expire and you don't have a tier 0, 1 to 3 job, you can apply for a visitor record for time being. Again, that will not give a eligibility to work. In that visitor record, you can just stay in Canada as a visitor. Okay, so Minu, again, hi. When I apply for my husband's work permit extension, do I need to submit LOE for him? Mentioning that I am on implied status or anything like that. Again, not needed. You just need to apply if you're applying together. CIC already know that you are a primary applicant, you are on a postgrad open work permit implied status, you have a job, it will get approved. If you don't have a job or a part-time job, then I will not even recommend you to apply for the application. But again, the letter of explanation is just a supplementary document which explains the whole case to the CIC officer. So depending upon the case, we always recommend to put a statement of purpose or letter of explanation, but it's up to you. If you like, put it, it's good. Okay, Hannah, to apply for a visiting visa for applying visiting visa to SOWP, some agencies say that he need to exit Canada, his visa needs to expire. Is it safe or visiting visa for graduation? I personally never recommend to apply any Indian passport holder to apply for visiting visa. Let me make it very clear. I might have done only 11 to 12 visiting visa application in 2024 and I have received around 9 of them approved. 2 of them are still, 8 of them got approved, 1 refusal, and 2 of them are still under the process. Once again, why I don't take more visiting visa application is visiting visa based upon the reason, financial stability, and again, purpose of visit, and whole thing based upon the profile of the applicant. If the husband is there, once again, you can also understand, definitely the husband just don't want to come here, visit and go back. CIC considered this as a application that somehow the person wanted to enter in Canada. If the person already have a good travel history, good financial, good job, maybe the visiting visa get approved. But again, personally, I never recommend anyone to apply for visitor visa because that has a very high refusal. And if you get refusal on visitor visa, your spousal open work permit definitely get influenced because CIC considered that this person now somehow just wanted to get entry in Canada. So again, be very careful that what agencies say, they just want to make money out of you. But again, you always go with second opinion, look into the refusal if they had already, look the GCMS note, plan your application, and that will make a successful application for you. Okay, so my one is done. Okay, Hannah, to apply for visiting visa. Okay, Hannah is done. Himanshu. Okay, Himanshu. Also, as per the new rules, were tier 0, 1 and tier 2, 3 with specific job stream, person can apply for spousal open work permit. If principal applicant has a part-time job, still one can apply for spousal open work permit. Very good question. So now, always the regulation says that you need to have a full-time job. Part-time job title is fine. If you're getting 30 hours per week letter from the employer, that makes full-time for the immigration side. Again, look, talk to your employer if they are ready to give that, okay, part-time position, or you can get a reference letter from a manager saying that, okay, even though it is a part-time, but you will be getting more than 30 hours per week, that application will work. But with a part-time hours, less than 30 hours, unfortunately, you don't even qualify for a spousal open work permit extension. I hope I'm able to answer Himanshu's question. Going to Bidu, thanks buddy, Bidu. Sanket, thank you so much, thank you. Now snap of happiness. Okay, for spousal open work permit application, I have a tier 2 job and submitted 6 months pay stub. We show fund in my account for an outline application. I'm a primary applicant. Will that be an issue? Once again, whoever is submitting the application, that person's profile need to be strong financially, socially, education wise, and work wise. So now, if you are the person who is showing the money, that consider as a secondary financial stability, that okay, if the person come here, then you are going to support. But you still need to fulfill the eligibility criteria that okay, that person who is coming to Canada is also financially stable and have certain background. So it's very important that in your case, your spouse need to be financially and economically stable, socially, okay, you can able to prove that she come to Canada and will go back. Going to next one, Prashant. Thank you, Vishnu. That's really helpful. I have to made a good resume last week, just in case to apply for a higher tier job. Unfortunately, supply chain industry is not mentioned in the other sectors. Yes, supply chain is not there. But once again, if you're looking into tier 0 and 1, it's more about the IT managerial jobs, marketing jobs. So if you are someone from a business background, try to do certain certifications. I love to have a live session on building the resume and the job hunt. I will educate you on that. We are trying to do that also in coming days. But try to do certain certifications which is required for, which is linking with IT, which can come under tier 0 or 1. That will be helpful. But once again, try to be in touch with YMCA, your local community, because they conduct certain hiring programs. Even your college might have to. Try to be actively looking those kind of programs or those kind of sessions where people come and help for how to build your resume or job seeking. That's how you build that. But second thing is, try to increase the connections. It's very important that in Canada, it goes with connections and referrals rather than just education. Experience matters, yeah, it's really good, but referrals always work. Okay, so again, what is the trend of approval for tier 2 primary applicant for outline application? Again, with tier 2 till today, it all depends upon the application, how you submit it. If your application is strong, you will get approval. If not, unfortunately, it will be refusal. Currently, from July to December, the refusal rate on any kind of outline application spiked up, especially for Indian passport holder. It's really very high. So once again, if you wanted to put an application in 2025, keep one thing in mind, that you need to make your application as strong as possible. Okay, so now, okay. Hi, what happened if my spouse status change from open work permit to COPR while my SOWP is under process? Congratulations. That's the only thing which I can say to EXA, because if your spouse already got a COPR, that means he or she is a PR. He or she can able to sponsor you with a PR sponsorship. You don't even need to give them any kind of status. They are a PR. Done. Congratulations. Hugs, thanks. Thank you. Snip of happiness. Nice name. Gayatri, thanks a lot for the guidance. Thank you guys. Diljit. Hi sir, I filed my spousal application before 21st of Jan based on NOC LMI based work permit. Will I have been negative impact on this application? So now the point is, unfortunately, if you are submitted before 21st, probability, like I always mention in this video, now I'm repeating myself now, that outcome based upon how you submitted the application. So even you are on a closed work permit, open work permit, doesn't matter. If you are under a tier 0, 1, 2, 3 or a NOC C basically, you are eligible to apply for a spousal open work permit before 21st of Jan. Outcome, it all depends upon how good the submission was. So the answer you can ask to the immigration firm which submitted the application, that how they feel the application is. If someone say that, yeah, we can able to get an approval very easily, don't trust them. Even Justin Trudeau, the government cannot able to give a guarantee. They always say that even the local MPs cannot interfere the application process. So please don't go on the fake assurances. There is always a refusal, but if you make your application strong, you have a higher probability of approval. Okay, going to the next, Aishwarya, can I travel to home country while applying? Again, we will cover all other questions later on in another live session. I'm passing that. Himanshu, hey Vishnu, thank you for so much insight, feedback. I highly appreciate that you're taking. Thank you, Himanshu. Your feedback really valuable for our team. Okay, Amal, do a student need a part-time job to apply for a husband spousal open work permit? No. If you are a student, you are doing a master's, PhD, or now the new thing is coming that, okay, there will be a specific courses, you don't need a job. You just needed to focus on your studies. You can still be eligible to apply for a spousal open work permit. Okay, poker. My wife is studying for her second semester of her master's. She is dropping out the course. I have a work permit valid till December 2026. If she go home, can I stay here for this long? Again, as per the law, you are not supposed to be in Canada if the primary applicant dropped the course, because again, you got a work permit because of her status in Canada. Again, if you want to stay or you don't want to stay, again, depend upon the documentation and the reasons and everything. Unfortunately, I cannot able to make a comment without see the documents. Okay, let's go to the next one. Where is that? Round, can I apply? Okay, guys, just a note. No more question and answer now. So till now, what all questions we received, we will answer that. We will conduct another live session later on. But I believe a lot of the people who are commenting now are just repeating questions. We will stop taking the questions from now onwards, and we will try to complete this. We will have another live sessions later on. But today, I believe the major objective of this live session is covered, that you should look into the eligibility criteria and then only you should submit the application. Don't hurry up and put your application without fulfilling the eligibility requirement, because again, yes, you may able to submit the application, but later on after 2 to 3 months, you are looking for the refusal. Okay, let's go to the next one. Do we need to stop the comments? Okay, done. Let's go to the next one. Where is that? Can I able to, my wife is in study. Okay, Raham, can I apply for child study permit along with my postgrad open work permit application? Yes, you can do that. Again, this new regulation is only saying about the spousal open work permit. So again, if it is spouse or if it's the kid, dependent, visitor record study permit, still you can able to make an application. Not a big deal, but try to get a higher tier job to avoid the chances of getting refusal. Chintu, hi, I would like to know the shift manager in a restaurant goes in the... Okay, Chintu, you need to look into your duties. Again, the title, do not tell what's the knock code. Your duties is something which is defined the knock code. So you need to look into the duties and you need to identify the knock code. Title doesn't give a proper answer. But again, if you look into general, yes, the restaurant manager goes under a tier 0 if the duties are fulfilling. Is waste management comes under the natural and applied science? Lisha, unfortunately, we don't know. We still have to wait to see like how in postgraduate open work permit courses, now there is a list. Same like that, now the list will be released by the CIC, which will be giving us better idea. We need to wait for now. Hi sir, I'm pursuing MBA and my study permit completed in December 2025. Will be completing in December 2025. My husband is on a spousal open work permit. I does not have a tier 0, 1 to 3 job. What should I do? You should try to find a job because that is one of the most important requirement. My son is in transition from the secondary school to college. Does he need an acceptance letter from a college. I am applying for a postgrad open work permit. Yes, definitely. So, Marcella, definitely your son need a acceptance letter and offer letter and need to pay the fees. All those things has to be done because again, it is a study permit extension. If he is doing that, definitely he need to go through that. Again, if you are applying for a postgraduate open work permit in May, yes, the most two important thing is one is the transcript and second one is a course completion letter. For work permit, postgrad work permit, these are the two most important piece of document other than the basic documents what is there. Okay, Mebin baby, I applied for a spousal open work permit on November 20th. My wife is working in tier 4 job in healthcare. Since it was applied before January 2025, what is the probability of getting an approval? Wife got her postgrad open work permit till January 2008. Okay, so now again, probability of approval totally based upon the how you did an application. No one can able to tell that what is the whether it will be decision positive or negative. You have to wait and see that. So once again, if you submitted application properly, you don't need to worry. My spouse, Emily, my spouse open work permit expire on September. I am an international student in Canada. Can I apply for a spousal open work permit renewal? So yes, if you are going, so the primary applicant, the person who is an international student, if you are continuing your study, then yes, your spouse can able to apply for a spousal open work permit extension. But if you are going on a postgraduate open work permit, then you need to have a higher tier job. And again, 2 and 3, only selective jobs are there. Shamshad, great job. Thank you for helping those who are in need in a difficult time. Kudos to CanTip. Thank you, Shamshad. Values your feedback. Don't forget to drop it. Yeah, okay. Zarat, get well soon with your throat, Vishnu. Thank you, Zara. Thank you. Akash, can I apply for spousal open work permit with postgraduate open work permit implied status? Yes, Akash, you can do that. So like I said, the spousal open work permit you can apply together when you do a postgrad open work permit and spousal. You can even do the same application during your implied status, or even if you can do the same spousal open work permit application once your primary applicant get the postgrad work permit approved. Anytime you can put an application, just put an explanation letter if you want. Otherwise, just submit with a submission letter and the temporary interim work permit approval. Just put that with your spousal open work permit. You can get an approval. And last question for today, Dodge. Hi Vishnu, my common law is on implied status since July 2024, working full-time as a RN. Respect. With tier 2 retail LMI pending since 2024 May, I am on my restoration period. How should I apply for before January 2024? Okay, so now the point is, I'm just a little bit confused, George, that working full-time RN. So if she's a RN with tier 2 retail LMI pending, I'm not clear with the question. Sorry for that, Dodge. But let me make one thing clear. If she's an RN, you don't need to worry. One thing I will make it very clear that if the healthcare sector is there, the one knock code which will definitely be there in tier 2 or 3 would be the RN and RPN, because that is two knock code which is most required by Canada. So if she's an RN, if LMI is there pending, it's okay. But again, try to get the PR, because if she's an RN, she have a 6 months of experience, she may be qualified under the NOC specific express entry draw healthcare, which can get a PR in the most easiest way. Hopefully this live session I able to answer your question, but if not, just reach our office if you are concerned. But again, if you are already running an LMI, then your immigration firm who know about your profile can definitely give a better guidance and comment on this. So guys, like that, we are coming to the end of today's live session. Please let us know how we did today. What are the things which you need to improve? What are the things you like about the video? Your feedback, your comments are really valuable to make our next live session a little bit more engaging. And again, my team will be there at that time with me. This live session was totally unplanned. Yesterday, I just went through a YouTube comments, which we did a live last time. And I see a lot of comments which was concerning me. That's why on very short notice, my team came and we arranged this live session. But please, I really value for your comments so that we can try to improve ourselves on each session. And like that, I say thank you. Thank you for being part of Can family. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with one of a friend who might you think will be get some help and some idea about the spousal open work permit with this live session. Our motive is to educate you so that you don't get a refusal and you don't feel that no, Canada is not for you. Canada is for everyone. Just you need to understand that there are good people, there are bad people, but if you are knowledgeable, even someone wanted to take advantage of you, you can stop that. So please don't depend upon others, learn by yourself, educate yourself. And again, I always wish that every CAN family member or whoever watching this video, you guys need to be successful in life and happy in life, which is everyone's motive in life basically. Yeah, you can make money, but stay happy, stay healthy. That is my wishes to you. Take care guys. Once again,